Hello and welcome to Awakened. My name is Zeinab Hamid and I'm a wellness coach, speaker, and storyteller. I created the Awaken Podcast as a safe space to speak truth, feel deeply, and heal out loud. After years of carrying grief, emotional pain, and the pressure to be strong, I choose to stop hiding and start honoring my inner world. Awaken is where I share real life experiences, spiritual reflections, and raw emotions, from anxiety and forgiveness to identity and inner child healing. This isn't a podcast for perfection. It's for those still figuring it out, still rising. I speak from the heart so others feel seen in theirs. Awaken is for the feelers, the overthinkers, and the ones learning to trust themselves again. It's not just a podcast, it's a movement of truth, self-love, and emotional freedom. If you're ready to come home to yourself, welcome, you belong here. Today I want to talk about a saying that came to my thoughts, and I wanted to express a little bit about it. So it's the I would have, could have, should have group. The group I used to be a part of a few years ago and still kind of comes in my brain, you know. We live our lives in fear so much, and this is where the I would have, could have, should have group comes in. I feel like for me it was fear. For me it was really not believing that I could, not believing that I would, and not believing that I was. And that stopped me, right, from becoming the best version of me, because I didn't believe that I would, that I could, and that I could accomplish anything, right? And so that made me really unwell. It just didn't make me feel good about myself. It didn't make, because I wasn't living my truth. I wasn't living in everything that I wanted to be, right? And anything that I wanted to accomplish in my life, I wasn't living my truth. I wasn't living in authenticity. I wasn't living in who I was meant to be and who my brain wanted me to be and my thoughts and my writing wanted me to be. I always used to go back into my journals, and I used to think like, I used to love how I used to write, and to live inside my mind. I would be like, oh my God, if anybody ever read my journal, I would be mortified, right? But now I speak my journal. I speak my truth. I speak what I write, and it feels so freeing. It's free. I'm freeing my mind in the moment. I'm living my truth, and I'm saying what I feel, and I'm saying what I think, and I'm saying what my mind feels and my thoughts out loud consciously, right? Sometimes when you aren't living your truth, you feel like, oh my God, I should have never said that. Those kind of moments, right? Because your authenticity is screaming to come out, and it comes out in moments where you're like, oh, I wish I never said that. Like, you showed yourself a little bit. And so we all have those moments, and I laugh because I had those moments so many times. And it's like you go back and you think, like, I should have lived my truth a long time ago. I would have had this feeling a long time ago. And that's the should have, right? And that's where it comes back and it creeps in. And it's like you have to come to the realization that the journey was meant to happen this way, and you have to accept it for the way that it happened, and you have to be proud of the way that it happened, right? Because in the process you learn so much. In the process I learned so much. In the process, when you take that first step, and then you take that first choice, and you make that first choice, not for anybody else but for you, When you make that first choice, you make it a choice every single day. It has to be a choice that you make every single day, right? To live in your artistic, creative mind, you have to be able to show your work and show your mind and show your writing and show your thoughts and express them without the fear of judgment. So you can creatively release what you need to release in the moment and be okay with not being misunderstood. Being okay with people thinking a certain way or being okay with the judgment of the outside world. Because if you continuously think of, oh, this person's going to say, this person's going to do this person's going to do that, you're going to live in the would have, could have, should have group the rest of your life. And that is the depression. That right there is the definition of why you're depressed, is because you're not living to your fullest potential. If you're living in your authenticity and you're living in your peaceful state, you're living with authenticity, you're living with truth. There's no lies in the words that come out of your mouth. And there's no, oh, I should have never said that. No, I said that, and that's it. That's the way that you come off. I said that, and what's going to happen? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and not in a threatening way, but in a way that's okay. I said my truth. You could say your truth too. I won't be offended by it, but say your truth. Be truthful. And when you live in your truth, the would have, could have, should have, all those things become nonsense, a nuisance to your life, a nuisance to your existence. It's an inconvenience to who you are. And any inconvenience to who you are is really just a betrayal of self. Don't be your own inconvenience. Don't be your own. Don't be your own kind of rock in your way. Like, don't be the rock that's in your way. Be free to be whoever and whatever you want to be, creatively, artistically, mindfully, right? Make mindful choices, conscious choices, right? Live in your conscious energy, live in who you want to be every single day, every day. And then you don't have to lie about your life. You don't have to lie about who you are. You won't have those moments where you go, oh, I wish I never said that. You know what I mean? You just live in your truth. And then the people around you will adjust, will adapt to who you are. And if they don't adapt, then they didn't deserve to be in your life after all. Like, they didn't deserve to have a seat on your table. That's just it. Don't be your own inconvenience. Don't be a should have, could have, would have kind of person. Be a I must, I will, and I did kind of person. Because when you are that person, you are ambition, you are success, you are enlightenment, you are the blueprint, you are the stepping stone, you are the person other people look up to, you are the leader that creates other leaders. When you are the I will, I did, and I am person, okay, the truth person. The only time that I was able to step out of my own way was when I put the lies aside and I started living in my truth. And I started doing what I love to do. And I started being who I love to be. And I started living who I wanted to live like. And I started removing things in my life that were stopping me as well. So you have to make that choice for yourself. You create the boundaries around who you want to be. It's your life. You are the CEO of your own life. You are the emperor of your own life. You get to choose who stays in it and who leaves it, and who gets to spend time with you and who doesn't get to spend time with you. All those beautiful things without judgment, without anything. Okay? So if you would have, you could have, but you didn't. If you lived your whole life Do you ever hear that story where there's people who are on their deathbeds and a nurse asks them, what is something that you regret? You want to be in that deathbed and say, absolutely nothing. I don't regret anything. Now, if you were there in this moment, which you have to reflect on that moment every single day to have gratitude for the moment that you're living right now, to reflect on the moment that could be your last moment, and somebody asked you in this moment, what do you regret? If you have an answer to that question, you're not living your truth. If you have an answer to what do you regret, you're not living in your truth. Because you shouldn't regret anything in your life. Even if it's a bad choice, that bad choice was a lesson. That bad choice was an experience that molded you into something, right? That lesson taught you not, that bad choice taught you not to make that bad choice again. Okay? That bad choice could have been something worse. Okay? So ask yourself the question, do you regret anything right now? And if you have a yes answer to that, there's work that needs to be done there. There's work that needs to be thought about and worked through. So if you would have, you could have, but you didn't. Let's talk about the power of who you surround yourself with. There are people who live in the I would have, regret, excuses, fear. They look back, not forward. Then there are people who say, I must. Not maybe, not someday. They live with urgency, with purpose, with soul. The I would have keeps you stuck. The I must moves you forward. One pulls from the past, the other pushes into your purpose. Surround yourself with those who live like this. Not I should have, but I will. Not I would have, but I must. Energy is contagious. Be mindful of the vibration you're sitting next to. You deserve to be around people who remind you of your power, not your pause. This isn't about pressure. It's about alignment. Choose people who choose movement. Okay? So if you, and that's just it. Everything in your life is your choice. If you don't like something in your life, you have the choice to change it. If you don't like your job, you have the choice to change it. If you don't like where you are in your life right now, you have the choice to change it. Take the risk. Do what you need to do to make yourself feel like you're living your best life. You're living your authentic life. You're living your truth. You're not living in lies. You're not living in, oh, this person's going to say this person. That is an anchor within itself that will keep you stuck the rest of your life. Really take it in and understand. If you care so much about what people think in your life, you are going to be stuck the rest of your life. You will not move forward. Because usually anybody that I know that is successful is not sitting around talking about other people. I promise you that. Nobody has time for it. Nobody in the world has time to sit and gossip. A successful person does not have time to sit and gossip about another person. I'm sorry. I've never met somebody like that in my life thus far. If you have enough time to talk about another individual, you have too much time on your hands. Way too much time. Get it together. Fill your time with things that bring you joy. Fill your time with things that make you happy. Fill your time with things that make your soul happy, that make you feel aligned, that brings you joy, actual, true, meaningful joy and compassion and kindness and alignment in your life. Align your mind, body, and soul. And once you do that, everything, the abundance comes. I promise it comes. When you live your truth, when you live in your artistic mindset and your creative mindset, you are able to be who you are unapologetically, without apologies, without explanations. This is who I am, take it or leave it. If you don't like it, there's another person over there that you might like. It's that simple. It's really that simple. And when you care and love yourself so to a point where that is just second nature for you, like, okay, if you don't like me, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. You just don't like me, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? That's the mindset that you need to get into. The mindset that keeps you going, that doesn't keep you stuck. So, once again, my name is Zeinab Hamid. I am the host and the founder of Awaken. And thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I do one-on-one coaching and would love to be a part of your journey. So you can find me on my social media accounts. They're in my bios and in my link tree, which is Linktree Zeinab Hamid 24. You can find me right there, and you can follow me on all of those social media accounts and schedule your next appointment. So have a great day, everyone, and I hope to see you next time.